Hey everyone, my name is Kabi and today we are going to watch the fleet battle. And this is our first video after the fleet being added to the game, and of course it would be very strange if it wouldn't be dedicated to the fleet action, and I can even spoil you that there will be pretty much no ground units in this battle, which actually makes sense even if players didn't agree on that on purpose, because on this map, as you can see from the minimap, there is like half of all the surface is covered with sea, and the base and the mining can be completely destroyed and denied from the sea. So if you win on the sea, you can pretty much destroy your opponent with your ships. And there is no additional mines on the map. There is such a back way on the ground too, but nobody will really use it in this battle, so we can not observe it. Even though this map is new, it was just introduced along with the fleet. But what you also have to know about the fleet, that the first water chest appears from the very beginning of the battle. If there is a 5-minute chest. On some map there are only 7:30, but on this map there are 5-minute chests, so they are there from the start. And that means that you wanna get ships as quick as you can, because if you can make it before the 5th-minute mark, the second chest will pop up, so you will get 2. And if you won't be there quickly enough, that means that you will just eventually lose 1 chest for nothing. And it is 600 resources in total, so that's quite something if you ask me. So anyways, I'm not sure if I even introduced the players, so it is Vadik in the top right as a red dark player, and the blue light player is Snowy. I believe we already witnessed Snowy's games, not sure about Vadik. He's one of our testers anyway, so I pretty much know this guy, but probably you guys not really so far. And we see that both other players are being really focused on the strong economic play. Snowy got 10 workers and Vadik got 11. I believe that he pretty much played the new domino build, which means the sawmill first, 11 workers, and sawmill into the farm and into the barracks. Something like a very weird sounding build. We couldn't even imagine someone playing this on high level like half a year ago, but it is the new reality now, and many top players play this build. It is of course not too strong against the dedicated rush, but since not many players play dedicated rushes, so it may pay out sometimes. And Snow is not really being on this meta in this particular battle, but he's still adding more workers because he's really short on wood. And that can't wonder, because both of the players built two shipyards at the same time, and they then go the main building 3rd tier straight. I'd say that for Snowy that is a mistake, because of that he's now late with his sloop, and that means that he probably won't be able to take the initial chest before the 5th-minute mark, and so he will lose 600 resources. Not a good call, in my opinion. And what about Vadik? He will be there on time, so he will get 1 chest more apparently. But actually Snoop is on the way, Sloop I mean is on the way, so probably he will make it if he rally the ships correctly. That being said, you must also remember that there is a separate rally point for the fleet, so don't misunderstand that when you place your general rally point, fleet are not going there, like let's say here. Only the ground units will go here, and ships will go where you order them separately. Well, for some reason Snowy is not making the right call. Probably he's not aware yet, maybe he didn't play too much ships yet, and he may not be familiar with the system where there is the chest so early on. And now also the 5th minute mark chest appears on the ground, but nobody really takes it. Again, I'm not sure if that is the player's agreement, or they just for some reason decided not to go for even one swordsman, but actually they both have enough gold to be able to afford it, or even try to take it with a worker. But whatever. We can see how both of the players are upgrading their shipyards to be able to take up to the 2nd tier ships, which are the elven ships and the undead ships. I believe that the elven ships called Caravella in English, same as in Russian, but once one will pop up, I'll tap on it and see. And the dark ships, the undead ships called galleons. I believe that is the same in both languages as well. Because it's not just basically the Russian words. Alright, so here is Galleon, and Snowy is not really doing a great attack, because he's obviously low on units. Okay, Elven ship is just now started, so he can't really fight because he has way less units. So the sloops are running away, and the schooners decided to pull back as well. So we also can notice how Snowy decided to build 2 sawmills. That's not because he's a noob player building many sawmills, but he just wanted to optimize it the best way possible. Probably he could have even built it like right here in the middle. It seems that I can't, in the replay, I can't make a box to indicate what I'm trying to show. But anyways, we also see how this sloop had the automatic repair activated. So once the ship is not receiving any damage for the particular time, it started it starts to have a higher regeneration, so self-repair or whatever it's called officially. But anyways, we can see how the battle starts near the light shipyards. Right now the dark player though has significantly more units, so obviously the fight starts in his favor. He also tries to micro with his galleons to get on some units, and Snowy are try to pull this unit back, but now this unit isn't even on the lowest HP. So anyways, now they're just starting to fight. It seems that right now, honestly, moving too much around the battlefield is not beneficial for the ships, because ships don't miss the shots, so there is no really a reason to try to micro. All you can achieve is that your unit will be out of the shooting range, but that can be with the enemy's shooting range, but with your own too. So it can be beneficial and not beneficial at the same time. Right now Snowy is using the firing on the move, which sloop is capable of, and Galleon is currently not. We're probably gonna give him that, because he has the cannons on the side, just like the sloop does. So it doesn't really make sense to make them attack differently. But right now it is on purpose. So right now it isn't a bug that he can't do that, but probably that is just a wrong call, and apparently we're gonna fix it in the future. So Snow is trying to take down the Storm Elemental to secure the mana well to his name, but he probably wasn't aware that this little creature is an air unit, and that means that a caravel, that's what it's called by the way, is not able to attack it, because caravels, just like galleons, cannot attack air. So you can only take down the Storm Elemental with your basic fleet. And so Caravels and Garons are not helpers here, unless you use a Gravity as the light player. But now we can see how the fight starts in the middle. And here I must mention that Galleons has the passive ability of being invisible. Unfortunately, in the observer's interface it's not indicated currently, but when the light player does not have a unit nearby to the Galleon, he's not able to see them. So he only sees them like this. You can see this swift animation where I move the camera on them. It is just an OBS interface bug, but we're gonna fix it. So he only sees the gloom and not the unit itself, so he can't attack. With the units that can attack ground, such as the Rocketeers and the Ballista, the Catapult and Bombardier Baron, they can attack ground, so they can technically attack the Galleons with attack ground command. But ships cannot do that, and this is why you need to get close to the Galleons to be able to attack them with your ships, or probably your aviation, or probably your whatever that scroll is called. Firefly, probably. That 25 scroll that allows the light player to scout. But right now Snowy heavily relies on just coming on top, and just because ships are not that swift, not that quick, they take time to accelerate and decelerate and turn. It just really takes a tremendous amount of time. Why it moves by the side, really. There is some weird stuff we witness here. But anyways, it takes time for them to move and get on the Galleons. And during this time, Galleons keep attacking, so this is why they're a bit hard to deal with if you can't see them from the distance. And that's what Vadik pretty much successfully used so far. And Snowy didn't come up, hasn't came up with the Firefly scroll. Anyway, now he tries to take down the Storm Elemental still. He placed his sloops so that the Elemental can't hit a few ones at once. Elemental is obviously not being microed by any player, so it just attacks what is closest. So you can trick them like that. And now probably something we can call a mistake, because Snowy wasn't was completely unaware that Galleons was coming on him. Actually, there would be an easy way to deal with all this. Just a few copters, man, because those obviously can't shoot air, so copters would destroy them. But Snowy decided to engage rather than that with a sheer fleet. And currently that works great, because the sloop highlighted the Galleons, and when Caravels can see the target, they do a tremendous amount of damage, as you can see right now. So sloops are being on the ship, and then Caravels deals with it just perfectly. And at the same time Snowy is being up to 3 shipyards, where Vadik only has 2. He actually has everything to be able to add the third one too, but as of course you know, each the production building of the same type will cost you twice as much. So first shipyard is affordable, second is a bit too expensive, and the third one is hell of expensive. And the fourth one is nearly impossible to build. But some buildings are still being built in a kind of 4, but probably the Dark Gate is the perfect example when you want to play them as Venom Speedsters. Alright, it seems that Snowy looks to probably take this marine farm to grant to be granted 20 additional food, to the 2 tons of additional food. Snowy also can't really decide who gonna obtain this chest, so he's been slower with that comparing to Vedic. And both of the players are about to be maxed out relatively soon. Vedic decided to cheat a little bit and also capture the mid chest, which is a bit funny. I also didn't even notice where this one popped up, but it seems to be the 7:30. And so the 15th minute too, nobody really takes it. Vedic could have taken it with the goon, but it seems that they decided just to ignore it, to be able to test the ships like more fairly. And here Snowy decided to apply a gravity scroll on one of the elementals. I'm not really sure if you can't use it on the both, but it is also easy to misuse the scroll, because I'm not sure if you guys are aware, but there is a mode when you cast a scroll. If you don't just quickly tap on the map, but if you make a long tap, so you hold your tap and then you make you can perform an accurate using of the scroll. So you can see which area this scroll will be applied to and which units it will be applied on. So those units will be highlighted. So when you want to apply a scroll on the aviation, it's better to use this mode, this aiming mode, to be able to aim it on the aviation precisely. So when you use the meteorite on the fleet, you don't really need to aim, you just tap and it just deals a great damage. 3 schooners received damage from the meteorite, but at the same time galleons are standing in the perfect position, and see how those caravels are trying to get closer to make those guys even visible. And then Snowy realizes that he already received way too much damage, so he pulls back, and while he pulls back and turning away and going away, galleons were still making damage, so one caravel is quite low in health. I'm not sure which one, by the way, but probably already restored with the repairing. But the important thing here is that Vedic stoling the farm, the marine farm. So he will now have 20 more food. But Snowy still has the mana well, so he can use some fancy scroll. Doesn't really have mana on that now though. Here repairing comes into play, so probably that caravel still wasn't full HP. Alright, they were on time to take down one galleon, but the other guys are still there, good to fight. But Vedic doesn't really want to engage right now. Rather than that, he wants to first get more ships on the water, on the sea. And so does Snowy, obviously. He even added the 4th farm, which is extremely expensive. But see how he added the 2 sawmills to be able to get wood extremely quick. And again, imagine a top player making a 4 sawmills like before 20-minute mark. But now that we have the fleet that is tremendously expensive on wood, it seems that it is the case actually. The players will just build more sawmills to have the better optimized mining, or should we say like cutting, I'm not sure if there is such a word for getting more wood. But the problem for Snowy is that he kept on the lower numbers of food, so he has less food to work with, and at the same time Snowy has a lot of mana he can work with, so it seems that he's gonna apply something fancy on the enemy's unit, so he comes closer, keeps receiving damage. He has the vision on those ships, but For some reason he only attacks the first of them, not something in the middle, so there is not enough splash damage. Caravellas needs to get closer to get the vision, but now they come way too close, and that probably was a terrible call. All the fleet of the light player goes down, and I'm not sure if he ever will be able to recover from that, because Varik is up to 120 food now and Snowy is down to 70, and even with the 4 farms I'm really not sure, but he's gonna have 4 more ships any minute now. So he also trying to obtain the chest, not sure if he's gonna be fast enough, but Vadik is not micron here, so chest goes to Snowy's name. Also ships starting to pop up on the map. There is almost 100 of mana, but not sure what scroll he should have used. If he would be able to steal this mana well to have even more mana, but that one is not even captured, so he can't really steal it. And his units die one by one, so now his shipyard's gonna die. And that means that the game is pretty much done for the light player. He wasn't able to figure out how to do with the galleons this game, and I suspect that he should have made more aviation, or at least use the firefight scroll, so that the galleons wouldn't be having the tactical advantage in every single fight. But that is still something to figure out about the fleet, and we all actually have to make it, as well as Snowy and Vadik, and this is only the first step. But for this we're gonna wrap it up because the game is done. So let us know what you guys think, and if you ever try the fleet, so what is your experience, do you like it, and what works better. And that's it for me for today. Thank you for watching. Make sure to sub to the channel in order not to miss the further videos, and I'll see you next time. Bye bye.